What if I told you that after Luka Doncic and LeBron James, the Lakers' next best point guard wasn't Austin Reaves? I'm Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and let me hit you with the punchline to the clickbaity title of this video. The one thing about Marcus Smart that no one wants to admit is he's probably the Lakers' third best point guard. Yes, even over Austin Reaves. Now, for a good portion of you, that may not be a controversial statement whatsoever, but for me, when I actually sat down to think about it, to think about who was the Lakers' best non-LeBron, best non-Luka point guard, the answer kind of surprised me. Because in my mind, I had always defaulted to Austin Reaves just naturally being the third best point guard. But after actually watching some of Marcus Smart's playmaking tape, I came to a very different conclusion. Now, let me be clear, when I say Marcus Smart is a better point guard than Austin Reaves, I'm not saying that Marcus Smart is the third best player on the Lakers after Luka and LeBron. I'm not saying he's a better scorer than Austin Reaves. I'm not even saying that he's a vastly better point guard than Austin Reaves. What I am saying, though, is that in the here and now, today, Marcus Smart is the better playmaker, the better point guard, and the better floor general. Don't believe me? Well, here are the stats. So if we look at both of these players and compare and contrast their playmaking stats to one another, last season was Austin Reaves' best playmaking year. He averaged 5.8 assists to 2.4 turnovers, a 2.4 assist to turnover ratio, and he had a usage of 23.7%. The season before that, he averaged 5.5 assists to 2.1 turnovers with a usage of 20%. His assist to turnover that year was 2.6. Now, if we compare that to Marcus Smart during the years when Marcus Smart was a starting point guard for the Boston Celtics, and if you look at 2022-23, Marcus Smart averaged a career-high 6.3 assists to just 2.3 turnovers. That is a 2.7 assist to turnover ratio. Even if you want to look back to Marcus Smart's prior years in 2021 and 2022, when he averaged 5.9 assists to just 2 turnovers, or even 2020 to 21, Marcus Smart averaged 5.7 assists to just 2.2 turnovers. Up and down, across the board, statistically, Marcus Smart has had better assist numbers per year than Austin Reaves. He's had better assist to turnover ratio numbers than Austin Reaves. And he's also had better numbers when you compare their usage rates to one another. Because again, Austin Reaves had a usage rate of 23.7% last season, whereas Marcus Smart in his career 6.3 assist year only had a usage of 17.8%. So Marcus Smart is doing a lot more from a playmaking standpoint on even less usage and turning the ball over less than Austin Reaves as well. Now, I do want to point out that last season was Austin Reaves' first year really getting handed the reins and having the ball more in his hands to be used as the primary point guard, so he's still very much learning, and last season he had a tremendous year as a playmaker. And I'm not even saying that when all is said and done, Austin Reaves might not be a better playmaker than Marcus Smart eventually, or that he might not average more than 6.3 assists like Marcus Smart has. I'm just saying that right now, it has been proven statistically, and we'll get to the tape soon, that Marcus Smart is a better point guard than Austin Reaves. But look, let me make one other thing very clear. In spite of the way that I opened up this video, believe it or not, this is not a Marcus Smart versus Austin Reaves video. And this is less of an indictment on Austin Reaves' point guard skills than it is a credit to Marcus Smart's point guard skills. So why don't I refocus things a bit? Because in this video, I specifically want to highlight Marcus Smart's underrated playmaking and passing vision. Because for all of the rightful talk about Marcus Smart's tremendous defense throughout his storied career, I don't think he gets enough credit for how well he can actually dish the rock. So like this video, comment down below, and don't forget to hit subscribe, and let's dive into the tape of the Lakers' P&D player, Marcus Smart, as in playmaker and defender. Alright, so the first thing you should know about Marcus Smart as a playmaker is the fact that he's got a lot of creativity and actual vision to his game. He's got more razzle, dazzle, and flash in his playmaking than you would think. And if you look at his time with the Boston Celtics, this dude knows how to showtime. Whether it was throwing moonball dimes the full length of the court with crazy accuracy as if he were prime Russell Wilson, or him fighting for the ball on scramble plays and finding a way to get the ball to his teammates in the most creative fashions, or him throwing these ridiculous no-look behind-the-head passes to trailing players for easy buckets. This dude has some real eyes behind his head, and his timing and his delivery of some of these passes is quite impeccable. Just watch this insane no-look behind-the-head two-handed laser pass to Jaylen Brown on the baseline. That is Luka Doncic type stuff. We're not just talking about a vanilla meat and potatoes sort of floor general who can run an offense for you in a pinch. We're talking about a real dynamic and visionary playmaker who can throw some passes that not many in the league can throw. These crazy one-handed laser passes, these behind-the-back bounce passes that he likes to throw, you just have to have the type of innate passing feel that Marcus Smart has. In a lot of ways, his quirky, unorthodox delivery of the ball kind of reminds me of D'Angelo Russell, and that's a good thing. If I just showed you these clips of him slinging the ball around and diming the hell out of the ball to all sorts of teammates all over the court, you would think that Marcus Smart was a generational point guard in the likes of Chris Paul, Steve Nash, and even Luka Doncic. Alright, so I know what you're saying, but these are all clips with him on the Boston Celtics when he was healthy. That was almost 3 or 4 years ago. What can Marcus Smart actually do these days? Well, lucky for you guys, I chopped up the Memphis Grizzlies Washington Wizards tape to find out. So when it comes to Smart's more recent play, Lakers fans will be happy to know that. In spite of Marcus Smart's injury-plagued last 2 seasons, and despite a more diminished on-ball role as a secondary playmaker with the Grizzlies, his crafty playmaking remained relatively intact. He averaged 4.3 and 3.7 assists with Memphis the last 2 years, and per 36-wise, that still netted out to a 5 to 6 assist average. First, let's take a look at his transition playmaking. Because if there's one thing that's never going to change about Marcus Smart, it's his propensity to push the pace. And the strength and velocity he has in his arms to launch such accurate touchdown hit-ahead passes is truly remarkable. The minute the ball changes possessions, Smart's already got his head up and is looking to swing that outlet pass to the fastest rim runner darting towards the basket. And for a team like the Lakers that's looking to be elite offensively, there's no better way of pounding the points than by having multiple playmakers who can manufacture easy buckets and run the ball down other teams' throats. Next, let's take a look at Marcus Smart's on-ball primary playmaking off his own dribble, and let's specifically highlight his insane use of the bounce pass. Because whether it's expertly hitting backdoor cutters with a crisp lead pass to the rim, or knifing into the paint and finding the exact sliver of space to rocket the ball through, or zipping the ball down the court in a matter of seconds, nobody loves the bounce pass more than Marcus Smart. And nobody can quite sling it with as much zip and accuracy as he does either. Next, let's get to the most important aspect of his passing, his pick-and-roll point guard play. Because if you watch the way he controls the motion of the entire sequence, he just has an overall great patience and feel of knowing when and where to deliver the ball to his finishers and shooters. And thanks to his sturdy frame, he can muscle his way to his spots, get guys in jail, and wait for the opening to happen without being too sped up. In this respect, unlike Reeves, Smart doesn't rely on his speed to create the advantage. He uses some bully ball tactics, his grounded base, and his good feel and timing to get the most out of his pick and roll possessions as the ball handler. Lastly, let's focus on Smart's connective playmaking. Because whether or not he has the ball in his hands, he just knows how to make the right quick read plays and swing the ball to the open player. Whether it's in the short roll or as the hockey assist guy, Marcus just plays smart and keeps the rhythm of the offense flowing in the best possible way. So if you're wondering whether Marcus Smart has still got it as a passer over the last 2 years, well, wonder no more. And just watch and wonder as number 36 slings through yet another hell of a dime. Alright, so there you have it. Less talk about Marcus Smart's D and more talk about his P, as in his playmaking and passing. And look, at the end of the day, as good as Marcus Smart has been defensively throughout his career, his defensive motor is the one thing that's just naturally going to decline due to his age. But the one thing that I think he'll lean more and more on as he continues to get older will be his playmaking vision, his passing, his basketball IQ, and his great timing when it comes to being a pick-and-roll playmaker. And beyond the obvious pointers that he can give a player like Austin Reeves on the defensive end, I actually think Marcus Smart can give Austin some great pointers on the offensive end as well, especially when it comes to navigating the pick and roll more patiently and knowing when and where to pass his teammates open. So what do you guys think about Point Smart? Do you think he's the Lakers' answer to manning the second unit better? Also, do you agree that right now he's a better point guard than Austin Reeves? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, and most importantly, please hit subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. This has been Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.